Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Backstage Bimbo TV. It's me, as usual, Allison Rouse, your most notorious groupie and author of We've Got Tonight, The Life and Times of Notorious Groupie. Me. That's right, folks. Back for another week here on the Rocky Talkie episodes. Or I'll probably use this one as a cocktail and rocktail, like I did the other question and answer session. Because we are going to get into another question and answer session today. All right? So, we're going to start off with a little drink because, we always have a cocktail or a beer, whatever you'd like here. Grab what you like, but today I'm going to have Princess Yum Yum by the Denver Brewing Company. It's really awesome, and how could you resist that name? Because like it says on the can, there's a princess in all of us. Every one of us. There is. All right, guys. So, grab your princesses, kick up your feet, and let's have a little cocktails and rocktails, shall we? Hold on. We know. Cheers, big ears. Oh, that's really good. I just happened to find this one at the grocery store, and I just loved the name of it. I haven't heard of the Denver Beer Company before, but so far so good, guys. Thanks. Love this Kolsch. All right. So let's get into our question and answer today. We're going to start with Linda Stein. Hi, girl. How you doing? I love you to death. She's such an awesome... All you guys are really awesome supporters, but yeah. So she wants to know, was there a girl that I ever took backstage that was ever out of her element? Yes, and not just a girl. So we're going to talk about that. So for starters, people in my book, you have read about Double Cam, or I changed it back to Cammy for the second rendering of the book. Cammy was always the one that was a wallflower backstage, that didn't really fit in with anybody, that never really connected like the rest of us did. And to this day, she was even out of her element because she thinks, I don't know. She always just told, she was just never comfortable backstage. She was just sort of wandering around. But also there was a girl named Tisha, which we will get into this subject. I will do a full vlog on this because bad things happen to rockers. Sometimes they get falsely accused of things, and Tisha was one of these situations. Totally out of her element, total virgin, wanted to lose her virginity to her favorite rock star when they were only in town for the day. Totally not in her element there because, no. Anybody who knows if the band is only in town for the day and you want to lose your virginity, it's going to be a quick in and out of the back lounge. And we told her not to, and it was a totally uncomfortable, horrible day. But I will do a full vlog on that one. And the last one to answer that question was not a girl, but it was a guy. Our friend Bubby, who was a huge Metallica fan, and he kept begging Danny and I to take him backstage to Metallica to just introduce him. So we decide one night that, okay, we'll have Bubby come up because we needed weed or whatever. So we called Bubby and he went and got it. So we're like, yeah, come hang out. And the guys are like, yeah, cool, hang out. And we went upstairs for one of our private parties in the just in case room. James and I are in our usual spot in the little hallway in our own little world. Lars and everybody and Danny and whoever else was with us. I can't remember who. This is a funny story, and I'll tell you guys about it because it was long story about James and the first wardrobe chick. Yeah. Anyway, so Bubby was just like total fangirling, just totally, oh my God. And he got so drunk partying because he couldn't keep up with us. And he got so drunk and he just sort of, everybody is kind of like, yeah, dude, not trying to be the rock star at that moment in time, just trying to be guys at the party. So every so often, once Bubby got drunk, he just sat at a chair by the table in his hotel room and just kind of silently wobbled for a while. But every so often, you'd hear, Metallica! Just every so often from Bubby, we'd all stop, turn. All right, he's still alive. Not really a comfortable situation when you're sleeping with the guys in Metallica and your friend is every so often, Metallica! Like he's in the crowd. Not in his element either. And there's been a few other women, I've talked about Barbie with the Cypress Hill situation. She had never been backstage before, and she's a little prissy missy. No. Not in her element either. So, yeah, Linda, there have been a few, as you know. You've probably met some yourself, too. All right, this is Pauline Tarr, my lady. How you doing, honey? Was there a musician I never got? Not really. And I don't mean that, like, pretentious or asinine or... Not really. I don't mean that way at all. It's because I went up a lot of the time not really wanting a specific musician most of the time. So half of the musicians, more than half, I wasn't looking to be with. It just sort of fell that way. But there is kind of one that I never did get, and I'm really glad because he was just boring as a box of rocks, vanilla, just gross. And it wasn't because he didn't want me. It was because I was kidnapped by James Hetfield. And that was Jakey Lee. Years and years later, into my stripper years and after the Black Album and the Bermuda Triangle that was the Black Album, I hung out with Jakey Lee and his band, again, Badlands with Ray Gillen and all those guys. And we were hanging out, and I thought, I wonder if and nope, didn't get him then. But like I said, after talking to him, vanilla as hell, boring as a box of rock, and the only thing he had going for him is he could play guitar. So not a bad thing that I didn't get him. Because sometimes it's not a bad thing. Sometimes you just got to realize, nah, wasn't meant to be. All right. So Karen Glenn, hey girl, how you doing, sweetie? Musician that was so sweet but rude to others. There's been a few. Absolutely, great question too. So we all know back in the 80s, men all over would say that Dave Mustaine was a total dick. He was just an asshole. Just a total prick. But all the girls that knew him were like, are you kidding? He's so sweet and so patient and so kind, and he's such an open guy. So yeah, there's an example. He was a total dick to guys. Same with Glenn Danzig. He was kind of that way too. But if you were a girl he liked or had been with, he was just a sweetheart. And I don't know any other Dave Mustaine than the sweetheart. I did see him be a dick to a couple people who deserved it, but really not dick as far as, he's a fucking asshole. I wouldn't see him off stage or, ever again. So Dave Mustaine is one of them. Neil Schon from Journey. Oh my God. He supposedly has this huge dick, and he will go up to guys' wives, just like the next person I was going to say, Jerry Cantrell, and he will be like hitting on, have the wives come back without the husband. I mean, he's just such an asshole. Not even him playing guitar can be a redeeming quality. Not even a supposed horse dick could be a redeeming quality. I just thought he was straight up an asshole. Unless he wants a woman, and usually, they're like, who he left the second wife, or he's with that Potomac Obama crasher bitch now, that's the best he could get, because she was the one wife that said yes, because she's Starfucker, so he's a dick. And Jerry Cantrell, yes, can be a dick. He's a nice guy, especially now. He's mellowed out in his older age. He's totally sweet, totally cool guy, but back then, total dick. Like I said, went up to my cousin Petey's wife, beautiful, now ex-wife Nuri, beautiful, beautiful South American girl, just gorgeous. Looked at Petey, says, I'm going to fuck your wife. Nuri, being South American, the fuck you are. So he can be really nice to a lot of people, but he can be a dick in other situations. And that was one of them. So yeah, and Karen, we all know. We all know those guys who are super sweet and then dicks behind. Bon Jovi. Half of Bon Jovi. Yeah. Super sweet up front, but the night we had the poker game, a kid sent up some balloons and a poster. This kid that had cancer. And just asked for an autograph, not even to meet them, but just sent it up and asked for the autograph. Did those guys go down and meet the guy? No. If it was being filmed for MTV, they would have. But privately, no, they didn't. And they made us groupies. They tried to make us groupies sign for them, which we did not. I made Richie. We all made our guys sign. John Bon Jovi and his bodyguard were absolutely not at that poker game. They weren't. So I don't know if John ever got the message or not, but not a single one of those guys. If the cameras were rolling, they would have gone down and made a big brouhaha out of it. But since the cameras were not rolling, they were dicks. All right. Moving on to the next one. That's a good question too, Karen, because a lot of people only see this one side of the guys when they've got the rock star image going on, not the personal one. And Katrina, hey lady, how you doing, sweetie? If I could go back and see any concert, which one and why? Great question. And you know what? It'd be The Who. Because you can't see The Who as I knew them. We can't even see them with Keith Moon. So, but I would want to see them a couple times because honestly, I only actually got to see The Who play 2 concerts. 2. I was on the road with them back in '89, but we weren't going to the concerts all the time because you're tired, you're hungover, whatever, you're busy, whatever. But I've only got to see them play twice, and I would love to see John play with The Who again because let's face it, John was The Who, the quiet part that people overlook, but without him, half that music wouldn't be the most amazing music we've heard because John was the best musician we will ever know in our lifetimes. Not just bass guitarist, but musician. And he was larger than life, and to see him on and off that stage was just exhilarating for me. So I would choose The Who for that many reasons, and also to have one last night with John. That would be nice. All right, my Kraken. How you doing, honey bunnies? And how do I keep my skin smooth? Asking about like razor burn and bumps. There are several ways. So I'm gonna get out a couple of my little things here. So when I've shaved my legs and stuff, because I still do sometimes, but I've always used Aveeno products, Aveeno body wash and Aveeno lotion. As you get older, your skin changes, so I used to use the regular green label, the original one, but I've moved on to the one with the dark blue with the super, and that's what helps. When I shave, I never use shaving cream because it's full of alcohol and it's full of stuff that's going to create that reaction from your skin, so you get that chicken skin. Super hot water, like not scalding, but make sure your body's nice and warm. But also these days, and that's what I did before laser and stuff, but these days, now anybody can order these online. My little laser, and you just do down your legs. You have to be freshly shaven, just whatever. That will make sure that you don't have the bumps because this will help. But like I said, using the razors or using the shaving cream and stuff will create those bumps because it's the alcohol and the other artificial stuff. There's only one shaving cream that I ever used, and that was the Trader Joe's, and it was actually cream, not the foamy stuff. So that's how I did it. I don't use shaving cream. Even when I waxed, it would be nice and smooth because I didn't have that buildup in my skin. So that's how you do it. And then this is really awesome for your face. It's my little laser thingy. I'm going in for now because I got all this stuff when COVID was happening, when you couldn't go into salons and stuff. So these are actually pretty good. You use them regularly. It's been helping with this stuff. And yeah, really love it. So this is how I take care of my skin. And always, use Aveeno lotions, the best lotions. Figure out what works best with your skin, but don't use any of those overblown shaving creams and stuff like that. Hot water and a razor is all you need, and you don't need to be pressing down because that irritates the skin. Just nice and smooth. And trust me, I have been told by the guys that I am the smoothest, milkiest, soft woman they've met. Like, they're like, Vinnie Paul always just, I can't believe it. He would just rub my legs all the time because he thought they were so smooth. Never had any bumps, nothing like that, because I just never use shaving cream. That's probably part of the secret. And that little laser is great. I love it. It makes it so I don't have to shave for 2-3 weeks at a time. Eventually it will start, but as you use it, you do still have to shave your legs. So again, Aveeno body wash. Get that, really nourish your skin. Don't use crappy soaps, you know. That's a secret. If you're going to be cuddling up to a rock star, you better be cuddling up nice and milky softly. So there you go. All right. And only lettuce, this is another part of your question that you previously asked. Opinion on those who dress the part but condemn groupies. Pamela DeBars calls those her dolls. It really does irritate me that people dress the part, or they buy the backstage pass, or they say they were on the Who's tour bus when we all know the Who has not had a tour bus most of their career. And by the years 1999, 2000, around there, definitely no tour buses. So people who kind of try and claim that and be that on the outside, they're just total crap liars. And any rocker roadie, they can see through them and they'll be handled accordingly. Or not handled, more than likely. Because to me, they're just hypocrite jackasses condemning me. But, oh, I've got backstage pass. I didn't have to be a groupie either. Sweetie, no, you will never be a groupie. You're just a starfucker. So that's, everybody knows that those irritate me. And also, Only Lettuce asked something about metaphysical that I didn't really get to answer last week because I kind of spaced it off. And it got me thinking, did metaphysical experience, oh God, yeah. After John died, I had intense dreams about him. Like, I woke up and I smelled his cologne. I smelled his shirt. I felt his hand touching me. There's one where, we were in some sort of like cabin, hotel room thingy and we were just laying in the bed and he was like, I didn't want to leave you like this. And he was very worried about leaving me to deal with all this behind. He's like, Sai's got you though. I'm like, because Sai always took care of me like John would have wanted to. From the day John died to the day we lost Sai last July. Sorry, it still hurts. Because, you know, and that was kind of, to me, John reaching out, trying to tell me everything's okay, and he's sorry for all the shit that I was going to have to go through. And also, I had another dream. Months later, that we were on some old rickety tour bus, and there were those Hirachi sandals, you know, the old 80s woven sandals that we all used to wear because we thought they were so cool. And I remember looking at like the hairbrush and stuff and thinking, who is this woman stuff? And all of a sudden Lisa was there. And this is before she kind of started attacking me in the press. Yeah. And it was just really crazy. The bus was headed into Las Vegas. I remember that. And like I said, it was an old Eagles coach, like from the 80s. But it was, I don't know. And it was really strange. And it kind of was a premonition of Lisa. And she actually kind of called me from Florida right before she passed away. She kept calling me and hanging up. Which I would have talked to her. I have nothing to hide and would have talked to her completely normally and respectfully. But she wasn't that person. And in the dream, I remember her getting mad. She just showed up on the back lounge of the tour bus. And I had walked up to the front and sat next to Sai and John. And she just started coming after me with that Hirachi sandal. And that was the dream. I know, crazy, but it was. And right before the press hit, I had a dream I was in my friend's, like 2 days before the coroner's report released my unlisted phone number and unlisted address because I was hiding from the press. I wasn't going to go to the press. They found me. And 2 days before that happened, I had a dream I was in my friend's backyard dodging piles of dog shit everywhere. That didn't tell me, and I felt that when I woke up the next morning. I'm like, oh shit, something's coming. And September 12th, it sure as fuck did, of 2002. So, yeah, that's my metaphysical things that have happened with a rock star, because John did absolutely 100% invade and come and see me in my dreams and warn me. There were warnings sent down. So yeah, there we go. And that is the questions for today, guys. We are going to get into some more questions later because there are more to answer. So if I still have not answered yours, guys, they're coming. All right. Because these were some really great questions. I love, like I said with Linda, I love that because that will open up the door to the Tisha and this musician situation where no one's trying to harm anybody backstage. And we don't like people who try to harm other people. So there we guys go. I hope you enjoyed today's 20 questions. Well, 6 that I could get to today. Thanks again so much for all the love. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to check out my merchandise, the book. Everything is in the link down below. So do not forget and hit the bell so you will be notified when I'm doing some more cocktails and rocktails. And thank you again, everybody, for the awesome questions, for all the love and support, for the great friendships I'm building through all of this. And Nicole, I will be talking about John Sykes soon. So excited for you, girl, starting a new life. Everybody, we've got to give a big applause for our friend Nicole here because we're so proud of her. All right, guys. Thank you again for all the love. Subscribe, hit the bells, and we'll see you next week for some more cocktails and rocktails. Cheers, big ears.